Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Monday Morning Podcast from Monday, December 8th, 2025. What's going on? How are ya? Oh, Jesus. How's it going? How's it going out in your neck of the woods? Crazy day of football. Crazy fucking weekend of football. I can't believe the Indiana Hoosiers football team beat the Ohio State Buckeyes for the Big Ten championship. I cannot believe that. Congratulations to them. I mean, that's got to be the biggest win easily in that program's career, in existence since I've been alive. I, of course, missed all of it. All of a sudden, I was getting text messages. I was out, hanging with my kids. That's all I fucking do now. I just hang with the kids, because everybody who's my age go, oh, they grow up real fast. Make sure you fucking do everything, It's so funny how parents romanticize having little kids. Take it all in. Make sure you take it all. It's like, dude, don't you remember you were exhausted? Don't you remember every time you sit down, somebody goes, Dad, could you? Hey, Dad. I almost started crying today. Like, it was just like, I can't, can I just? You can't even finish the sentence. You can't even say, can I just sit down for a second? You're like, can I just, I want to get my Pokemon cards. It's just like, and now you got these empty nesters, just looking back, which, yeah, you do look back fondly, and they do have wisdom and all of that, but they're forgetting. The lack of sleep. My son gets up at 6:30 in the morning, no matter what. I don't care what time we put him down. He gets up. We tell him not to come in the room. He comes in the room. That's how I wake up every morning. I wake up every morning with a room service order. Jack, can you make me pancakes? No good morning. No nothing. I mean, I love it. But it's like, it's hard to take in every fucking moment. If you actually do that, if you spend every waking moment with your kid, you're going to lose your fucking mind. At some point, you need to go sit on a back porch for a second. You need to lay down on a couch. I don't know. They're just projecting, okay? Because I don't think, if you're actually a truly loving, involved parent, I don't think that you're ever going to give yourself the win and be like, I did everything I can do. You're just, that's what makes you a good parent. So you're going to be extra hard on yourself, and then that questioning, you're then going to project onto somebody like me that, make sure you spend every second with them. It's just like, And then I think people who suck at parenting, they never say shit like that, and they never question it. I mean, these are generalizations, people. I don't know if you're new to the podcast. This is what I do. Anyway, so congratulations to Indiana University. Oh, my God, beating the Ohio State Buckeyes in the Big Ten championship game. I don't think the Buckeye fans give a fuck. Somebody was saying they actually got a better look in that first game of the playoffs. So, what are you going to do? Oh, my God, can you imagine if I don't know who they got, but if they must not have gotten Indiana because they just played each other. But can you imagine if they play again and Indiana beats them twice? That's kind of the thing, you know what I mean? Like, I wonder if Ohio State beat Indiana, does Indiana somehow get bumped out of the playoffs? I really feel like no matter when Ohio State loses, like they must be a ridiculous draw because they never seem to suffer. I mean, I remember one time they fucking had the same amount of losses as like Penn State or something. They lost to Penn State that year, and it was like they had a tied record, and they still gave the Big Ten championship to Ohio State. So I don't know what's going on. A lot of money gets thrown around, but I'm not mad at it because that happens in my business. You know what I mean? Big conglomerates want to buy other conglomerates, and they swing by a government agency, and then everybody comes out smiling, and all of a sudden it goes through, and there's no monopoly or whatever. I don't know. It's just Just is what it is at that level. At that level, it's just people are the way the game is played is something that I don't understand, and you know what? It's not my problem. All that payola and boosters and fucking drugs and whores and all of that shit that goes on. Islands. Freak offs. Jesus Christ. I came home the other night and my lovely wife was watching that P. Diddy documentary. And I watched half of one episode and I was just like, I'm good. I watched the one where they were basically saying that he was essentially involved in Biggie's death, his murder. And it just made it seem like he coveted what Biggie had. That's why when you listen to the records, what always drove me nuts about Biggie's shit is like after every line, Puffy was on there going, that's right. Bad boy. Stupid laugh. It's like, will you shut up and let the guy rap? For the love of God. And I think he was just the way, and look, this is just a documentary. So I don't know shit about this guy or that fucking world or whatever, but I do remember there was a documentary came out, and by the end of this documentary, people were convinced that Courtney Love had killed Kurt Cobain. And so, like, I don't know about these documentaries. People look at them like they're a fucking police report. I have no idea. I don't know what the rules of libel and slander are on social media. Not social media, on streaming platforms. I have no idea what it is. But I was watching this thing and I'm like, are they saying this guy renegotiated his contract and Diddy didn't like it to the point that he killed the guy because he actually wanted to be the guy, and then he was out there doing that dance, whatever that dance was supposed to be. Didn't quite understand that. Whatever that dance was when Sting was singing. I saw that episode. And when he finds out Tupac got shot, he goes, was that us? Was that us? He was excited. So I missed the one where they showed his abusive childhood. But I'm like, you know what? I've seen enough of this. I think I've seen enough of this. I don't want to watch anymore. I don't want to watch any more of this stuff, okay? I had enough bad shit happen to me. I don't need to watch somebody else who had even worse shit happen to them, which made them do even... It's really weird. That whole fucking genre is just weird. It's like... So all of these people's murders and sexual assaults are now my entertainment for the evening? I had a joke about that a long time ago. People, hey, did you see the Michael Jackson documentary? I was like, no. I think, oh, you gotta see it. It's like, yeah, I don't want to watch alleged pedophilia testimony. With a fucking bag of popcorn. There's something about it is it's weird. It reminds me. I remember back in the day, I had to go to court over some bullshit that I did, and I was guilty, right? And I just noticed these old people that I didn't know were sitting in there. In the courtroom listening to my arraignment and all, whatever the fuck I was, whatever the hell was going on. And I just remembered that, like, I was like, I don't know these people. They only arrested me. There's no victim here. It was drinking and driving, right? So, like, they're just here because there's air conditioning. And they were sitting there like old lady, just sitting there like doing needlepoint. And maybe a young Netflix executive saw that. Maybe they went to court and they're like, someday if I ever run a fucking TV network, I'm going to have all serial killer stuff and all that because people will come down and just for air conditioning, they'll just sit there and it's very voyeuristic. Anyway, plowing ahead here. What else? Oh, yeah, I told you guys, I rewatched Natural Born Killers. I hadn't seen that since it came out. And I got to be honest with you, that movie is low-key a romantic comedy. It's essentially When Harry Met Sally with a much higher body count. It's like it's the sequel to When Harry Met Sally because they're together. You know what I mean? But then they get separated again, like you knew they would in the sequel. Like if they ever did a sequel to When Harry Met Sally, this would be them. You know, they're however many years later, their kids are in their teenage years, and then they're going through marital difficulties. So then they get separated, and something happens, and then they realize they really love each other and get back together. That essentially is Natural Born Killers. Spoiler alert. This is how the movie ends. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Give me a chance to hit pause, to run across the road, and shut it off. Or fast forward. It ends with them together in a Winnebago with a bunch of kids looking like they're on their way to a national park. I'm like, oh, isn't that nice? Still really enjoyed the movie. I'm just saying I never really noticed that it was part of the commentary on, even back then, they were saying that Americans or whatever people watching TV were desensitized to violence. And I got to tell you, Oliver Stone called it. He called it. And he's basically was 30 years ahead of his time saying what we were headed towards. And now, like Netflix, I mean, they are just like, it's not really them. I mean, they're putting this shit out about serial killers, and people cannot stop watching it. They just cannot. They can't get enough of it. It's fucking bizarre. Anyway, so I put my money on the Bengals this week versus the Bills, and I thought when they went up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter, the Bengals, I thought it was over, and then he threw the pick 6. And something amazing happened. I didn't get angry. I just went, oh, no! And then Joe, went to tackle the guy and he slid down his leg and he got away. I was like, no! Oh, no! And then I just went wow. That was quite the change of events. And my wife laughed. As opposed to back in the day, like a month ago, before I cried my fucking inner child out of me, I used to, whatever I used to say to the TV, she'd be in the other room being like, Bill, the kids are here, right? So that made me feel good. It made me feel good that I could watch a team messing up my bet and I didn't lose my temper. And then they drove down, they threw another pick, and then next thing you know, I had the Bengals getting 5.5. And they were up by fucking 12 points at one point, and then 2 seconds later, I'm losing my bet. And at that point, my kids wanted to go to the mall because they want to do some Christmas shopping for their mom. So I said, all right, I lost this game. And then I'm driving there, and I get to the thing, and I get out of the car, look at my text message, and my buddy goes, hey, man, great call on the Bengals. They covered. I was like, what? Still didn't win. Lost by 5. The spread was 5.5. Guys, we're going up against gangsters. We're going up against casinos. We're going up against computers, and we're going up against algorithms. And what are we showing up with? We watch SportsCenter every night, going with a gut. Anyways, I had them. I had the Steelers, and I was 2-0, and I was liking my afternoon bets. I had the Falcons getting points, and I was thinking all right, they're getting a lot of points here, and they played great against the Patriots. And then Seattle just mopped the floor with them. And I'm thinking, the Pats kind of had a problem with them for a half. So maybe this shit they're saying about the Patriots, that they got an easy schedule, they're not as good as they but then I'm always going well, it's also a Boston team, and, the New York sports fucking media, they can never give it up to us. We win a fucking World Series, and they interview the Yankees to see their reaction to it. That's that's how bad it is. Tom Brady had 3 fucking Super Bowl rings, and they were still calling him a system quarterback. And I got to tell you, but still, at the end of the day, if I got to start a team, I got to go with Peyton Manning. They were saying that after he had 3 rings, Peyton had none, and he was beating Peyton every fucking year in January. Unbelievable. So I don't know what to think about my team. And then I had the Bears, and they lost the game. So I ended up going 2-2. So whatever. Billy wins some, lose some. But I'm hanging in there. I am in striking distance. I need a 3-1 weekend, and I can't have anything worse than 2-2, and I can beat the book this year. So Anyway, also I did a gig up in Bakersfield at the fabulous Fox Theater. I want to thank everybody who came out. I had Dean Del Rey and Ambria Allen opening up for me. They crushed it. And I really wish I taped my set because I winged this bit about Trump blowing Bill Clinton and bringing both sides together politically. I don't know what I was saying. I just got on this roll and the crowd was laughing so hard that it's like they like egg you on, and I just kept, they still like this, and I just kept going and going, and then I got off stage and I didn't even remember I talked it because I had no plan on talking about it. It just sort of came out. I was doing some other stuff that I got this new chunk now that I'm like, I think I got this thing beat, you guys. All of these years trying to I have options to other emotions. Like I was driving in my car today and my kids were just acting up and they were driving me nuts, and I never raised my voice till on the way home. Every once in a while you got to be like, hey, enough. Like that's as worse as it got. But I was just going like, guys, you have to calm down. All right? I know you're excited. I know we're going to the mall, but stop kicking my seat. I don't mind red lights. I don't mind people cutting me off. I don't mind traffic. It's insane. I just hope this isn't some honeymoon phase thing. But I'm doing the work though. Every day I get up and I got these breathing exercises and I meditate, and then I have like this little manifesto on what I want for the day. And it just sort of reminds me, instead of just waking up and doing my French lessons and the stuff that I do, I prioritize this. So, I don't know. This is the biggest thing in my life right now. Other than being a husband and a father, this is the biggest thing in my life. Is if I can get past this, I can't imagine. I mean, I didn't think I was ever going to get on the other side of this, so I'm actually really excited. I'm also terrified that it's just going to, because I have failed so many times trying to figure out something that's going to work, So, but this feels different. I sound like somebody dating their third stripper in a row. But I'll tell you, this time I think she loves me. Hey, I can do heroin once a week. As long as I go, maybe twice. Maybe twice, I feel like I'm doing that a little bit. But I am going to be bringing it up on the podcast because I don't want to forget about it. Also, this week, 2 downloads that I did that I've just been listening on a loop on the fucking elliptical and going to the gym. David Essex, Rock On. Hey, kid, rock and roll, rock on. That one. What is it? And where do we go? Blue jean, baby queen, prettiest girl I ever seen. See her shake on the movie screen. Jimmy D. Rock on. Been listening to that. And Black Sabbath, Hand of Doom. And just ear-to-ear grin. First of all, Ozzy's singing style on it. The killer bass and guitar riff. And then Bill fucking Ward. Oh, my God. Just murders the track. I love all of those guys. Those guys, like, that whole era of rock drummers where, because they grew up listening to jazz and that type of shit. So they all swung, and then they had, like, jazz licks that they all could do, like, that fucking 4-stroke rough. A lot of their shit, like, is on the snare, Like, all the guys, they were probably... Ian Pace is another guy like that, and their chops are incredible. But just the groove he plays during, like, the quiet part. Vietnam, napalm, that boom, get. Oh, my God, with a little cross stick. Amazing. So I've been sticking with that drumming thing too, trying to free myself up, learn how to do that flow mode shit, and just not judging my fills and playing a bar and then playing a fill, playing a bar and then a groove and then just playing a fill and just shitting out fills. Some of them are okay, some of them stink, some of them are horrific. But there's a few that are okay. That's what I'm focusing on, man. But anyway, back to Bakersfield. I had a couple of weird shows this past week where I had I just didn't feel like I quite connected with the crowd, and I was going fuck, here it is. This is what they always said: if you get happy, your funny's gonna go away. And I just think it was. I was nervous when I went to Bakersfield. I'm like, oh, God, am I just going to be fucking mediocre Bill now? And Ambria, fortunately, made fun of my boots. I had on Doc Martens. She goes, I like your white supremacist boots. Like, what are you talking about? White supremacists didn't wear the Doc Martens. They were, I don't know. I don't know what the fucking rules are. I go, these are the ones that I always saw, like those fucking chicks on Newbury Street used to have them on. The pretty girls with no makeup. That they weren't goth. They weren't grunge. This is early 90s. They had a lot of layers, like the Flashdance thing, and then I don't know. I don't know what they were. They were tragic. The tragic, artistic white girls used to wear them. And then when I went to New York, Doc Martens were actually, I didn't think I was smart enough to wear them because all the comics that were considered good joke writers and the guys who were getting gigs writing for Letterman, getting gigs writing on like the Daily Show, back before Jon Stewart, who the fuck was the original host? I'm spacing on his name. They all had the low top Doc Martens. They worked clean and whatever, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not one of those guys. I guess I'm not a Doc, even though I like them. So anyway, yeah, she made fun of those. So I went on stage and I was riffing about the hairy-legged white chicks that wore them, and I think that just opened me up. And somehow, I ended up going into that Trump blowing Donald Trump. No, Trump blowing Donald Trump. Sorry, I'm not commenting on his narcissism. Trump blowing Bill Clinton allegedly on a fucking island. I mean, it's just shit is just fucking. Like, I'm not, whatever part of the internet that is, I'm not on it. And then people, they just send you texts. And all it does is make you feel good that you're not really on the internet anymore. You fucking see this shit? It's like, what? Somebody said Trump blew Bubba, and they think that means it's Bill Clinton. I'm like, what? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. People, there is a level of society. There is a level. Is it even civil? I don't even know what it is at that point. Where I just think you just have so much fucking money and you've literally done everything. And it's like, what is there left to do? I don't know. You want to just blow each other, but we're not gay. I know, but what else is there to do? There's nothing. It was something about. You know what? I'll never be able to get it again. It was something about that. Oh my! I used to just get text messages. Oh my God, did you see that? No, it was a Hail Mary. They scored a touchdown, and now it's just we just know too much. I'm sure this shit. These fucking weirdo, sexy beast, fucking banker, fucking politician, criminal parties, whatever the fuck they're doing. Some Illuminati guy's basement. Like, whatever the fuck. Like, I know that shit has probably always been going on, but we didn't know about it. What? Like, I don't want to fucking know about that. Okay? I just hope it was consensual. That's all I want. That's how I stand on it. So anyway, I'm going to fucking, after this, I'm going to go downstairs and go play some drums. That's what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know. And I'm in a great mood. And I am so happy and thankful that there's people out there that, you can go to that can help fix you, man. Because I really never thought I was going to get on the other side of this shit. I really didn't. And this is fucking nuts, dude. Like, I am, like, when you listen to this Monday, that it'll be one week. I mean, I haven't flipped out about anything. The only other time this happened was the first time I ever tried, like, mushrooms. It was, like, mind-blowing because I understood for the first time that when I was a kid, that had an effect on me now, which is the most obvious statement ever. But, like, if you block that all out, you don't realize it. So I think just knowing the truth of it, I was, like, chill for, like, about 5, 6, 7 days. And then what happened was I was left with the realization of, like, well, just because now it's been validated, all of that bullshit still happened. And then my anger came back tenfold. But this feels different because this was a release of all of that as opposed to acknowledging it. So, yeah. This is going to help my stand-up tremendously because I already was, like, talking about, in a funny way, where I am. And one of the comics on the show, their friend, said, hey, tell Bill I really appreciated him bringing up mental health. And I was like, I didn't even know I was doing that. I was just sort of just joking around about that stuff, about what I was going through. But, like, no one has ever said that to me after a show. I've never gotten that feedback. I usually get like, wow, that guy's, he's pretty wound up. That was a lot. Was that only an hour? Cause it felt like, there were times I didn't know if that was going to end. And that's true. I used to have sets. I would go on stage red-faced angry to start. I would start at 11, and it would just go at 11, and then my closing bit would be on 13, and I would get off stage like, I would even be like, what the fuck was that? It didn't happen all the time, but every once in a while it would come out. And I don't have that anymore. I'm really thankful for it. So, and I don't want to go back. So I'm committed to this shit. So we'll see. All right, people, let's do the reads for this. And I hope if you're going through what I went through, know that you can get on the other side of it. If a German-Irish guy can fucking somehow, I don't know. I have faith that anyone can. All right. Hydro, everybody. Hydro, how are you? Sorry. This holiday season, train smarter, not longer. The Hydro rowing machine delivers the best results in just 20 minutes a day. Dude, have you ever seen anybody that's doing that consistently does a rowing machine that isn't like shredded? They're always in great shape. This person. The ad says it works 86% of your muscles in one seamless motion, twice as effective as running or cycling. Is that right? God damn it. I don't know who wrote that sentence, but you just sold a Hydro. Hydro is your go-to for the ultimate full-body workout. How ultimate? It works 80% of your muscles, arms, legs, and core. And it's twice as efficient as cycling or running. Just 20 minutes is all it takes to feel the results. Whether you're training hard, staying consistent, or I'm going to get one of these. I got room in the garage. I'm getting one of these. 20 minutes a day? I'll do this. Dude, I'm going to fucking do it. Whether you're training hard, staying consistent, or getting a jump on your New Year's goal, Hydro meets you where you are and pushes you further. That's a great point. Why not start early? Why not only have 15 pounds to lose instead of 20? Why not only have 30 instead of 50? Whatever, Anyway, whether you're training hard, staying consistent, or getting a jumping New Year's goal, Hydro meets you where you are and pushes you further. Their members are seeing serious results from major weight loss to stronger performance and faster recovery. All workouts are led by Olympians and world-class athletes filmed in breathtaking locations around the world, with the largest library of rowing workouts. Hydro keeps motivation high all season long, and it shows. 90% of our customers are still active a year later. Well, that must mean it works. Hydro's newest rower, the Hydro Arc, delivers ARC, like Noah, delivers such powerful results that GQ magazine named it the best rower of 2025. And right now, Hydro is making it easy to give the gift of fitness with free standard shipping, a 30-day risk-free trial, and a 1-year warranty. So this year, give yourself something that moves, motivates, and truly delivers, a Hydro rower. Head over to Hydro, HYDRO.com, and use code BURR, B-U-R-R, to save up to $600 off Hydro rower during this holiday season. That's HYDROW.com, code BURR. Sorry, B-U-R-R, B-U-R-R. To save up to $600, Hydro.com, code BURR. All right. Oh, look who it is, everybody. Look who it is. It's Squarespace. This podcast is sponsored by Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform designed to help you stand out and succeed online. Whether you're just starting out or scaling your business, Squarespace gives you everything you need to claim your domain, showcase your offerings with a professional website, grow your brand, and get paid all in one place. Squarespace gives you everything you need to offer services and get paid all in one place. From consultations to events and experiences, showcase your offerings with the customizable website designed to attract clients and grow your business. Get discovered fast with integrated Squarespace SEO tools. Every website is optimized to be indexed with meta descriptions and auto-generated sitemap and more. So you show up more often on search engines and bring in more ideal customers. Squarespace makes it easy to showcase your expertise and engage clients with video content on your website, upload and organize your videos, create stunning video libraries, and even monetize your content by adding a paywall, perfect for online courses, exclusive tutorials, and premium workshops. Check out squarespace.com/Burr for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, use offer code BURR, B-U-R-R, to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com/Burr, or for a free trial, when you're ready to launch, use offer code BURR, B-U-R-R, to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. All right. Lastly, but not leastly, look who it is. Oh, it's Hims. It wasn't us. It was them. The Warriors. Hims. Big moments deserve less stress and more confidence. When erectile dysfunction shows up in the bedroom, well, where else does it show up? Jesus Christ. In a bus station? Hims helps you keep your cool and focus on what matters most in the moment. Get your dick hard and giving her a ride, baby. Through Hims, you can access personalized prescription treatment options for erectile dysfunction, like hard mints, no pun intended, and Sex RX, plus climax control. Easy, easy, if prescribed. Hims offers erectile dysfunction treatment options ranging from trusted generics that cost 95% less than brand names to hard mints, if prescribed. You shouldn't have to go out of your way to feel like yourself. Hims brings expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatment plans that put your goals first. This isn't one-size-fits-all care that forgets you in the waiting room. It's your health and your goals put first, with real medical providers making sure you get what you need to get results. Think of Hims as your digital front door that gets you back to your old self. With simple 100% online access to trusted treatments for erectile dysfunction and more, all in one place. To get simple online access to personalized, affordable care for erectile dysfunction, hair loss, weight loss, and more. Look at that. You're going to be in shape. You're going to have a full head of hair with a fucking rock-hard dick. Who wants it? And more, visit hims.com/Burr. That's HIMS.com/Burr for your free online visit. hims.com/Burr. Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products include compound drug products which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescriptions required. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information. All right. Let's get to the people, everybody. All right, here. Where the fuck is it? There it is. All right. The people have written in. The people have spoken. The people have questions. The people do not want to pay a professional. The people do not want to listen to somebody that's smarter than them. They want to feel superior. So who do they ask? Yours truly. Listen, everybody, if you want to feel smarter about the choices you're making in life or how you view the world, ask me a question. I guarantee you're going to feel much better. All right, AI is going to make us all depressed. Hey, Billy Beta Bot Blockhead. I've spent my... Did I ever tell you the time I asked my daughter a long time ago? She was watching... why the fuck does... The heat shuts off and then it immediately goes on to cold, killing all the heat. I don't understand it. It's not something that I understand. You understand that? No, I do not. I do not understand that. Sorry, I just sat down in my leather chair. Sounds like I farted. That is the sound of success when you sit down in a chair and it sounds like you farted. Rich Mahogany. Hey, Billy Beta Bot Blockhead. I've spent my entire career in digital marketing, and I'm sending this SOS because the system is officially breaking. Oh, boy, we're going to get this. We're facing an unending onslaught of shitification from AI-driven advertising, and people need to mentally prepare. Here's the terrifying lowdown. Big tech has forced advertisers to give all control to AI. Well, how did they do that? The system is now a closed loop. AI writes the ads, serves them, often to other bots, measures the inflated performance, and tells companies to spend more. The whole cycle is costing advertisers an extra $100 billion. Well, why would they do that? All they care about is money. Why would they allow themselves to get bullied? I need a follow-up here. What cards were they holding that they would agree to such a deal? These are the advertising companies. They do the fucking. They don't get fucked. At least that's how I was told the game was played. Anyway, but the worst part is the privacy loophole. If you use a tool like Gemini or ChatGPT to edit a personal photo, the resulting image is considered unprotected because AI created it. The ad companies are now taking that data to generate synthetic images that look exactly like you or your spouse, and they're using them in highly targeted, deeply negative ads. Dude, what is going on with the world? Yes, it's technically illegal. Also, you know how sometimes when you visit a website, it wants you to sign in with Apple, Google, or Facebook, even though you're like, why would I need to sign into this website? I'm not buying anything. It's because once you're signed in, they know exactly who you are for advertising purposes. All right, I'm just getting off the internet. I'm off. And you know what? It's not going to matter because the herd is on the internet, and then someone's going to have a picture with me, and then I'll be in this system. Yeah, well, anyway, we are the very beginning of a world where advertising is going full 180 degrees away from aspirational emotions like he's a hot guy with a six-pack, he wears that cologne and bangs a smoking hot babe, maybe I should get that cologne. We're getting away from that to individuals seeing an ad of someone who looks like them with pure negative emotion behind it. Well, what are they selling with negativity? Do they drink the orange juice and make a face like it sucks? How would I buy it then? I have questions. Imagine seeing an ad for from a dick pill company saying your dick doesn't work, and there's a guy sitting on the couch. He looks kind of like you. Now the real human, who might have a perfectly good dick, has been injected with a very real-looking fear. He might choose to buy dick pills because all of a sudden the idea of his dick not working becomes very real. So you're saying it's going from selling a fantasy to now it's going to be a mind fuck? All right. Or maybe it's an image of a couple fighting and it's an ad for therapy and the couple looks like you and your partner. Or it's an ad for a pet toy that shows your pet looking sad and bored because you're a piece of shit pet parent. Instead of fear of missing out, it's going to be fear of the synthetic self. FOSS. We can't stop it. All we can do is try to leave emotion out of ad viewing. Easier said than done. Sit on that back porch and just stare at whatever is green or blue. See you at the bottom. You know what? I'm not worried about any of that shit. Human beings are still going to hang out with fucking human beings. There's always going to be a place to do that. And if these fucking guys that get so much money that eventually they have to blow each other just to have something to talk about that day, they want to do that, I don't give a fuck. I don't. I'm still going to shop mom and pop as much as I can and just going to live my life, man. Okay? Like, that's all scary shit, and you just told me there's no solution. So what was the point of telling me that other than to scare the fucking shit out of me? So then are we all going to get, like, individual ads? Oh, God. All right. Well, there's a fun way to start the week. All right. Let's move on to the next one. Pennies. Hey, Billy. I stopped at my local... Oh, Billy. I stopped at my local bank the other day to make a deposit. While I'm talking with... I like when sometimes people call me Billy. That reminds me when I'm like a little kid. It's always or I'm back east. Everybody's Billy, Bobby, Johnny, Nicky, Mikey. I stopped at the local bank the other day to make a deposit. While I'm talking to the teller, I mentioned another branch across town. They've got that coin counter I like to use. The moment the words leave my mouth, every teller within earshot turns to me and says, "Don't go there right now." Wait a minute. Let me read this again. I stopped at my local bank the other day to make a deposit. While I'm talking to the teller, I mentioned another branch across town because they've got that coin counter I like to use. The moment the words leave my mouth, every teller within earshot turns to me and says, "Don't go there right now." Oh, Jesus Christ. Is this more synthetic fucking ads or whatever I just was reading about? I asked why, thinking maybe the machine is jammed again. Instead, they tell me all the coin counters are down, every single one. So I ask what happened. They tell me the bank is getting rid of the penny slot entirely. You can bring nickels, dimes, quarters, no problem, but pennies are done, off the menu. They won't even take them. So now it isn't just that the mint has stopped making pennies, banks won't accept them either. I asked what I'm supposed to do with the pile of loose pennies sitting in a jar at home. The teller shrugs and says, "Take them to a store and spend them." Oh, my God, it's like, what's that musical Chairs? Oh, the Wonder Ball. Yeah, whoever gets left holding the bag is fucked. So apparently my options are to become the guy holding up the line at the register with a fistful of pennies or just throw them out like expired coupons. Well, go fuck yourself. Wow. Well... I mean, that's the direct. We're heading towards a cashless, microchipped future, and there's only one thing to blame, and that is immigrants and non-white people. They're the fucking reason why that you blame everything, despite the fact that it's super rich white people fucking you over, and you just keep looking at these people who have no seat at the table and no power to change your fucking life. Yeah, I've given up on it. I have given up on it. If people want to continue to believe that the reason why they can't get a job that pays them a living fucking wage is because somebody who makes 1/10 of what the fuck you're making, which isn't enough, is the reason why you can't afford a house, like they're going to what? Go on there and outbid you on a house? It's beyond me. I don't know what to tell you, but I have left the debate. Because I've never been able to convince anybody who already believes the other way. So it's just a waste of fucking time. All right, so let's plow ahead here. Shitty neighbor. Shitty fucking neighbor. Why does it... I keep scrolling. Oh, no. Buddy cheated on his girlfriend with an escort. Oh, boy. Hey, Billy Freckled fuck. Is there anything better than alliteration with a curse word? You freckled fuck. That is hilarious. That is fucking hilarious. Got a 9 a.m. text from my buddy's now ex. Oh, no. Oh, it's just his girlfriend. It wasn't his wife or his fiance. So maybe he didn't love her. He didn't lose her. Why am I sympathizing with the guy? Because I'm a guy, right? You know? Who would I be in this fucking scenario? The idiot who got an escort. My friend of 20 years cheated on his girlfriend with an escort 4 days before her birthday. Jesus Christ, talk about blowing out the candles there. To say I was blindsided would be an understatement. She told me and two other of mine and his mutual friends. How did he get caught? The whole point of getting a fucking escort is it's like, you know, it's a fucking business transaction. What did he use? Apple Pay? He shares the account with his girlfriend. Who is this Trixie Nixon? She told, that's a good fucking escort name. Whole Trixie Nixon. I'm going to start using that as a reference. I think the other woman is Trixie Nixon. To say I was blindsided would be an understatement. So I go to this woman, Trixie Nixon. I go to her Facebook page, and needless to say, her pictures are salacious. To say I was blindsided would be an understatement. She told me and two other of mine and his mutual friends. Now we're in an impasse. We're in our early 30s and are at the point where we don't want to associate ourselves with this guy. Because he got a fucking escort? He must have done something else. Do you guys live in Utah? I mean, he fucked up. The guy fucked up. What was the scenario? Was he in Vegas and he thought what happened in Vegas stayed in Vegas and evidently it didn't? How did he get, I want to know, how did the guy get caught? That's fucking, there's so many questions. And what has he been doing up to this point that this is the final straw? Or are you guys just really decent human beings with a zero tolerance? We draw the line at escorts. Like I get her and I get them splitting up. You've been friends with this guy for 20 years and one escort, one fuck up, and then that's it. All right. Okay, yeah, I'm intrigued. All right, we're in our early 30s, and they're but at the same time, my buddy has issues, and I don't want to abandon him. Okay, here's a little empathy. Here's the thing. Two of my buddies are getting married, and to be honest, the fiancés might not want him at the wedding. Well, I get that. Everybody has a friend. You know what I call friends like that? You just don't bring them over your house. You don't bring them over to the wife and family. I always say that's an outdoor dog. That dude is an outdoor dog. You know, some dogs just stay outside. You don't bring that dog inside. That's the guy, if we're going to go to a game, he's going to drink, we're going to have a good fucking time. But that's not the guy you could bring around your wife and kids. Just doesn't. He was fine before I was married and didn't have kids, and we were just drunk idiots. But now, you know, it's one of those deals. That's just how it is. Anyways, this person goes on to continue. Says, I don't want to abandon him. Well, that's okay. That's understandable, I guess. I don't know anything about these people. Here's the thing. Two of my buddies are getting married, and to be honest, the fiancés might not want him at the wedding. 100% they don't. Would I be wrong cutting ties? I don't want to be a dick, but sometimes you got to cut people loose, right? Love you, you freckled fuck. Is this your decision? Is your fiancé? Oh, you're not getting married. Listen. What your buddy has to understand is what he did was he played out the nightmare of these two women who were about ready to get married to your friends. So he can't be there. Because if he's there, then the guy they're about ready to marry is basically saying without saying, I am okay with a guy that does this kind of shit. You know, it's so weird. I mean, I'm trying to think if it was the other way around. Like if the woman you were going to marry, one of her friends, fucked her. I don't know. I can't do the math on this. I don't want to be a dick, but sometimes you got to cut people loose, right? Love you, you freckled fuck. This is what my gut tells me. You're not telling me the whole story. I don't think this is the only thing he did. I feel like this is the final straw, or he's done this before and now he's done it again. And you've outgrown him. You don't want to be involved in this sort of shit. And that, that can happen too. Like as you get older, this is just a generalization. Like, as you get older, there's people that get married, friends that don't get married. You can still stay friends. And then once you have kids and stuff, your lives can change enough that, they're going to Spain or whatever, and you're going to like soccer practice. And then you sort of drift apart a little bit, but maybe instead of hanging every weekend, now you're hanging a couple times a year. Like that can happen. There's things with, people stop doing drugs, they stop drinking, and then the other person keeps drinking and doing drugs, and then you can't be around them because you're trying to stay sober, or, being sober around somebody that's completely fucked up, you're on two completely different wavelengths, and it's not fun for the sober person. It's educational because you sit there being like, oh, wow, is that what I look like? I mean, I knew it was bad. Hey, I didn't know it was that bad. So, I can't answer this question for you, sir. I can't make the decision for you. You have to, like, if you feel like you're outgrowing this person, man, I feel like if this story's out there and everybody knows it, yeah, this guy should take the wedding off. But, like, I don't get involved in other people's relationship and other people's business, whatever the fuck they're doing. But, like, I do understand that, like, if the woman he cheated on told everybody and everybody knows and now you have him at the wedding, it doesn't look good. I get that. But as far as you, I don't know, you have to answer that question. Have you outgrown this person? It seems like there's a lot more happened than just this. I don't know. I have no idea. All right, anyway, last question. Here we go. Shitty neighbor! Hey, Bill, here's a little background before we get into what's going on now. I've been in my home with my wife for about 6 years. For the first few years, everything was fine. When we had our housewarming party, one of my neighbors came over and asked us to move a guest car that was parked in front of their house. Even though it's a public street, parking, and we live in a neighborhood with alleys and garages. Yeah, there's certain people that just have that. They have that the sidewalk, the parking in front of their house is theirs. I don't have, if it's public parking, I just like, what am I going to, and you're having a party? Like, I think when one of your neighbors is having a party, as long as they're not doing it all the time, I think your job as a neighbor is to be cool. And just be like, all right, it's going to get a little loud. They're going to have a fucking blowout. What do I give a shit, I'll go to the movies. I'll put in some earplugs. I don't give a fuck. As long as this isn't every weekend. Anyways, the person said, when we had our... I moved the car to keep things friendly. They have parties a few times a year, too, and their guests park in front of my house, which I never had an issue with. Yeah, because you're fucking cool. We got a dog a few months after moving in and trained him well. When he's ready to come back in the house, he pushes on the back door, and we let him in. This same neighbor got a cane Corso 2 years or so later and chained him to a 5-foot chain in the backyard to bark and cry for hours. My wife works from home, and it's annoying, so I talked to him about it. He says he's working on it and some other bullshit. Nothing changes, and I talked to him 3 more times about it, about the dog, before we call the animal control, who just send the police to check on the dog. Police have them take the dog inside for the day, and the neighbor loses it on me the next time we see each other. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't like this guy. I don't like this guy at all. This summer, I noticed my dog digging at the back fence alley, and there's food grease thrown on my fence and flowing in my yard. I confront him nicely about it, thinking it could have been one of their kids, not knowing any better, and he says it's leaking from his grill and he'll fix it. Bullshit again, but whatever. Just don't let it happen again. Winter comes around and the same shit happens with the grease after Thanksgiving, but now there are footprints in the snow. Oh, this dumb fuck. To confirm that it's being dumped in our yard. I confront him again and he says he'll take care of it, but that isn't good enough for me. So I press on how unacceptable it is that he loses it and screams that I got a smart mouth then puts his finger in my face so I have to push his hand away. I stayed calm while he was shouting, but it was getting close to the point where I thought he may swing. My wife comes out to break it up, and we both walk away, still not happy with each other. My wife was watching on the Ring camera. See the video. Please don't share publicly. Well, what am I watching here? What the fuck am I watching here? All right, hang on a second. I got to hit pause. Okay, I just watched the video. Yeah, dude, that guy is a nightmare. That guy is a nightmare. I thought he was going to faint. His voice kept, you still fucking talking? His fucking voice was going way up. I wouldn't go over there anymore, and I wouldn't talk to the guy anymore. Okay, what I would try to do is document what he's doing. Now, I don't know what the cops can do about somebody throwing grease over in your yard. He's clearly passive-aggressive. He's clearly emotionally a child. He seems like he's just puffing his chest up. He doesn't seem like he's going to do anything. But you never know what somebody is capable of. So you don't want to go over there. And you try to talk this guy. That guy was completely unreasonable. And like, didn't want to hear anything that you had to say. You were calm and all of that. So I would just, like, this is like a legal situation, dude. I do not go over there anymore. Do not go over there. I would add more cameras, put some cameras on your fence, try to catch the guy in the act. And when you catch him in the act, send it to the authorities. And that is it. And that is it. And then also understand that no one's getting arrested over dumping grease over a fucking fence. And now you're going to be coming home with this fucking guy there. And what has he escalated to? This feels like the beginning of one of these Netflix fucking things where two neighbors get into it and then somehow there's a body bag. So, oh, God, dude. I don't, is there anything worse than a nightmare neighbor? What do you do? You're going to... This is... I would get some legal advice. This is way beyond just asking a random comedian, dude. I would get some legal advice. My first thing I would get some more of those fucking Ring cameras along that fence so you can see whatever the fuck this guy is doing. But I wouldn't waste my time talking to that guy because that was a complete waste of time. He just kept saying the same thing over and over again. And it's just going to escalate the situation. Yeah, I mean, I hate to tell you, you live next to a child. And he's a jerk-off. And he's not a responsible person. And I can tell you, if that's how he handles confrontations in life, I'm amazed he got far enough to be able to have a house. And all that screaming and yelling has nothing to do with you. He must have been not listened to as a kid. I don't know what the fuck it is, but that dude is not worth your time. But, he's kind of just doing cunty shit, grease in your yard and stuff. It's not like the old days. We could just go over and handle it. And, look, you have footage of it. It's fucked. That's my advice to you as someone completely not trained in these fucking things here. So don't talk to a professional. Go to a lawyer. Find out what you need to do. I'd try to get some cameras or whatever. And I'd listen to your wife there who was saying don't go over there. Don't fucking go over there. The guy's a lunatic. That's it. That's it. As far as the dog, I don't know what to tell you, dude. I just feel really bad for you that you're in that situation. Person says, not sure how to proceed from here. He insinuated fighting about it, which I'm open to, but will not be throwing the first punches by any means. He's probably around 45 years old, and I'm 33, which I know that is a factor in why he gets so defensive when I tell him to correct issues on his property. I don't think that has to do with it, dude. I think it has to do with whatever he's going through or whatever happened to. Moving is not on the table, unfortunately, so how do you deal with a person like this? Huge fan and can't wait to see you back in such and such city that I'm not going to mention because I don't want any of this shit. What if your neighbor listens? I would say what I just said. Get some legal advice. Go down and talk to the cops. Just say, listen, I don't want this to escalate, but also, like, it's file like a report or something, and then get cops probably deal with this shit a lot, and just ask them what's the most successful way to deal with a neighbor like this. You know what I would do? Next time I'd see him, I'd actually apologize to him. Just do that. Not that you're really sorry. If you really want it to end, just say, hey, listen, I apologize for the misunderstanding and my role in it. I don't want to have bad blood with you and blah, 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 blah. Then at least maybe he stops dumping the grease. I don't know what the fuck to do about the dog. You know what? Fuck all of that. Fuck all of that. I wouldn't talk to the guy anymore. I don't know. If he starts yelling at you or whatever, just say, I don't want to argue with you. Have a nice day. Just keep it neutral. Go inside. I would talk to the cops. I'd figure out what to do. The best way to protect yourself, the best way to deal with this guy. And who knows? Maybe you'll get lucky. Maybe this guy will fucking move. I don't know what. Or maybe he'll get mad. Someone on the other side of his house will get mad at him. And he definitely has issues. And I don't know. I don't know what your deal is, but it looked like you were living a pretty great life. And why don't you guys just do that? I mean, I don't know, get some soundproof fucking windows. Maybe do something like, I don't fucking know. But I know that someone like that, there's nothing you can fucking do about them, and the law protects people like that. It just fucking sucks. I've had neighbors like that. So I got a lot of empathy, but like I said, yeah, I would talk to the cops. All right, good luck with that. All right, people, that is the podcast. Thank you to everybody that came out to Bakersfield. I got Cerritos is next out here in California, and then I got a date coming up in Seattle in the beginning of January, and I've got to sort out a few acting gigs, and then I can build my tour around it for next year. I'm really looking forward to it. Once again, I had an amazing year thanks to you guys listening to this podcast, coming out to my shows or whatever. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And with that, go fuck yourselves, and I'll see you on Thursday.